Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaprasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. What is the topic?
Glories of Bhakti.
Glories of Bhakti. Bhakti is glorious in any yoga, not only Kali Yuga. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna spoke about Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and Bhakti Yoga. But repeatedly, Krishna is emphasizing on Bhakti Yoga the most, because it is Bhakti that establishes a deeper bonding between us and Krishna. In karma, our inclination, our taste, our skill to perform a prescribed activity is prominent. That plays more prominent role. In Jnana Yoga, our knowledge plays a prominent role. In Dhyana Yoga, our meditation, our Ashtanga practices, keeping the back erect, all this pranayama, pratyahara. So all these things, they take prominence. And not only that, even the goal also is not purely serving Krishna when it comes to other paths like karma, jnana, yoga paths. People who follow those paths aspire for liberation. They want siddhis, they want wealth, they want name, fame, prestige, so many things. But in bhakti, the path is easy, the process is very, very enlivening, and the goal is pleasure of Krishna. The goal of this path is just to please Krishna, and this whole path takes us to the lotus feet of Krishna and re-establishes in our original spiritual glory as eternal associates or servants of Krishna. That is the glory of Bhakti path. While other paths cannot establish the soul in its original glory as someone who is connected to Krishna, someone who can eternally reside in the spiritual world. They take us to different destinations, which are temporary destinations. Ideally, bhakti is performed without any material expectations, without any material motives. But even if somebody has some material motives, even if someone does bhakti with some expectations, still bhakti will purify us of those selfish desires. Please repeat after me. Akamah sarvakamo va
Kama sarvakamo va
mokshakama udaradhi
mokshakama udaradhi
tivrena bhakti yogena
tivrena bhakti yogena
yajeta purusham param.
cheta purusham param.
Akamaha means no desires, no material desires. Sarvakama means all kinds of material desires. Mokshakama means desiring liberation. Whether you have no desires or all kinds of desires or specifically desire liberation, Tivrena bhakti yogena, if you perform bhakti intensely, then the Lord will purify us from all kinds of material desires. That is the power of bhakti. There is this beautiful shloka in the Padyavali. Vyadhasya charanam dhruvasya chabayo vidya gajendrasya ka kubjaya kimu nama rupamadhikam kim tad sudam no dhanam vamshah ko vidurasya yadavapater ugrasya kim paurusham bhaktya tushyati kevalam nacha gunaihi bhakti priyo madhava. Vyadhasya acharanam. A hunter named Vyadha. What etiquette does he know? What culture does he have? What shastras does he know? What is his background? He's killing animals. But somehow or the other he came in touch with devotees and became purified. Mrigari hunter also. Hunter Mrigari is taking pleasure in killing animals, not completely. If you shoot an arrow, when the arrow pierces the animal and the animal is half dead, and when the half dead animal is crying with pain, he takes pleasure in that pain. That is the nature of Mrigari hunter. His name itself is Mriga Ari. Ari is enemy, Mriga is animal. He is Mrigari because he is an enemy of animals. Once Narada Muni saw him and said, "Hey, what are you doing? Is this the proper method of killing animals?" Firstly, killing animals itself is wrong. Because you are a hunter, you need your livelihood, therefore you are killing animals. Even if we accept that argument, still killing animals in this way, by giving them unnecessary pain, is very, very sinful. If you directly kill them, okay, fine. There is some sin in it, definitely. But if you don't directly kill them, and if you just half kill them and give them unnecessary pain, and for a long, long time, you are allowing them to experience that pain instead of completely killing them, that is very, very sinful. Stop it. Then Mrigari said, if I stop it, how will I get my livelihood? I will take care of your livelihood. You first break your bow. Somehow he had some little faith and he broke the bow, his hunter's bow. Then Narada Muni said, You just go and chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, plant a tulsi plant in front of your home, give up all the wealth that you have accumulated by sinful means, give it as charity to people, Brahmanas, and you live on the bank of some river in a small cottage. You and your wife chant Hare Krishna in front of tulsi plant. I will send you food, don't worry. Then Mrugari did this. Somehow he had some obedience. Somehow Narada Muni's aura, Narada Muni's divine presence brought some transformation in his heart. So Mrugari broke his vow, followed whatever Narada Muni said. Seeing that this cruel hunter has become transformed into a pure Vaishnava and chanting the names of the Lord and gave up his sinful profession, all the local people, they came with so many offerings. Every day they would offer him flowers and fruits and vegetables and grains and all kinds of foodstuffs. Although there were only 2 people in their home, he used to get food for 10-20 people every day. Now he has to give charity of extra surplus. So much food. So Mrugari was completely transformed. So transformed that he wouldn't be inclined to even harm an ant also. One who was once taking pleasure in seeing the pain of half-dead animals is not inclined to even see an ant dying in front of him. That is the extent of his transformation. So Mrugari was completely transformed. What transformed him? Bhakti. Vidya Gajendrasya ka. Say your background and your culture or your dynasty is not a qualification for devotion. Then Vidya is our scholarship and education, our exposure to so much of knowledge. Is that a qualification, prerequisite to attain Krishna's grace for bhakti? No. Gajendra was not a pandit. He was a dull-headed animal, apparently. But the Lord blessed him because he had bhakti. Kubjayaha kimu nama rupam adhikam. Is beauty a qualification to attain Krishna's grace? Is it a qualification for bhakti? Kubja was a hunchback woman. Then is wealth a qualification? Sudama, kim tat sudamno dharam. He has nothing. Sudama did not have even a handful of poha also to offer to Krishna. His wife went to nearby houses and begged some flat rice and tied it in a torn cloth and gave it to Krishna. Gave it to Sudama. And Sudama reluctantly carried it all the way to Dwarka, and Krishna accepted that offering and blessed Sudama. Because Sudama's magnitude of offering may be very small, but his attitude behind offering is very pure. So Krishna doesn't see the magnitude of our offerings. He sees the attitude behind the offerings. Kim tad sudamno dhanam vamshah ko vidurasya yadavapater ugrasya kim paurusham. His dynasty, great family, aristocracy, is that a qualification for devotion? Not at all. Vidura was born as the son of a maid servant, but he is an exalted devotee of the Lord. Even if Vidura offers banana peels to Krishna, Krishna doesn't complain. He eats banana peels. Anyone here ate banana peel in your life? Not even once? Huh?
Mango peel.
Not mango peel, banana peel. Mango peel is still okay. That even in Banginapalli it's okay. Some mango peels are terrible. But Krishna ate banana peel without any complaints. Then Paurusham, your bravery, your courage, your resourcefulness in battles, is that a qualification for, oh my God, that's okay. Is that a qualification for bhakti? Not at all. Ugrasena Maharaj, this Maharaj was sitting on the throne But he was not having a great track record of fighting in big battles or anything like that. He is very simple-hearted devotee. But still, because he has devotion, Krishna is protecting him. Thus, this process of bhakti doesn't expect any prerequisites from the practitioner. The practitioner is only sincerity is expected. Sincerity is there sufficient. Bhaktya tushyati kevalam na chagunaihi bhakti priyo madhava. The Lord is satisfied only with bhakti. He is bhakti priya. Nothing else is required. Thus bhakti, the path of bhakti is very easy to perform. What is there in bhakti? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. Bhakti begins with hearing about Krishna. Hearing about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela. When you hear sincerely about the Supreme Lord, that will inspire you to dedicate yourself to Him. Why? Because His qualities are like that. The Lord has such enlivening qualities. Just by hearing about the Lord's qualities, people can become attracted to the path of bhakti. That's how Sukadeva Goswami, who was absorbed in his own impersonal conception, he became attracted to bhakti. Atma ramascha banayo nirgrantha apyurukrami kurvantya haitukim bhaktim itham bhutaguno harihi. Say it. Atma ramascha munayo nirgrantha apyurukrame kurvantya haitukim bhaktim itham bhutaguno harihi. Whatever may be the background of the person, Atmarama means self-satisfied people, Munayaha, thoughtful sages, Nirgrantha means one who has no connection with any shastras, illiterate people. All of them can get attracted to Krishna and perform unmotivated bhakti because Krishna's qualities are like that. The Lord has so many divine qualities, wonderful qualities that attract the attention of everybody. That people are inspired to practice bhakti. Bhakti is very easy. If not bhakti, what else do we do? Bhakti is easiest path. Even small children also can do bhakti. See how attentively they are doing Shravanam. No mischief, no restlessness. How come we are also silent? See his expression. Huh? Outstanding. Standing out. He's very expressive. But now he chose to express his emotions silently, not verbally. So anyone can do bhakti. 5-year-old children. How many of you are 5 years old? What is his age? 4? 5. And you? 6. You are 6. 8. Oh, you don't look like 8. And you, this boy, jeans. What's your age? 6. Everybody is telling your age. And you are telling everyone's age. 6. He's a senior devotee now. 5-year-old boys, 6-year-old boys also can do bhakti. So bhakti doesn't require any prerequisite of age also. We can start bhakti at this age only. Prahlad Maharaj says, Kaumar acharet pragnav dharman bhagavataniha. You start practicing bhakti at Kaumar age, at the age of 5. Yeah, before that. Because Prahlad Maharaj started bhakti before taking birth only. When he was in the womb of his mother, he started bhakti. He was hearing from Narada Muni for a long time. So in this world, there may be so many paths, spiritual paths, which could be scriptural paths also. But ultimately, if that spiritual path or scriptural path doesn't invoke a feeling of devotion, love and affection for Krishna, that doesn't completely satisfy the soul. Some people come to the Lord just to release themselves from difficulties. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvidha bhajante mam janaha sukriti norjuna arto jignasurartharthi gnani cha bharatarshabha. Some come with curiosity, and some people come for money, some people come to relieve themselves from distresses. So different people have different motivations in connecting with the Lord. But Krishna says the greatest or the best way of connecting with Him is not for any material boons or with any material expectations. The best way of connecting with Krishna is to please Him. Our pleasure lies in giving Him pleasure. When you offer something to Krishna, you will automatically be pleased. Because you offer to someone who is a reservoir of all planets, all universes, and all living beings. Everybody is within Him only. Everybody is not Him. Everybody is within Him. All universes are within Him. If you please Him, automatically you will be pleased. Automatically you will be satisfied. Just like when you water the root, automatically all the leaves and plants and twigs of the tree are completely nourished. Similarly, when we serve Krishna, automatically everyone else is nourished. Yatha taror moola nishechanena trupyanti tat skanda bhujopashakhaha pranopaharatha yathindriyanam tathaiva sarvarhadamachyutejyaha. Yatha taror moola nishechanena. Once you offer water to the root of the tree, naturally all the limbs of the tree are nourished. But that nourishment doesn't happen if you just sprinkle water on the leaves and twigs. If you sprinkle water on a leaf, at the max the dust accumulated on the leaf will go away and the leaf may look fresh. But it will not remain fresh. You have to nourish it from within. For that you have to pour water on the root. The process of inducing life and nourishment into a leaf or a branch is through the root. You pour any amount of water on the leaf. You disconnect the leaf from the tree and keep pouring water as much as possible. The leaf will not remain alive. It will dry up. Soon. There may be some ways of preserving it. Probably artificial ways of preserving it or natural ways of preserving it. But it doesn't grow. If you leave it on the plant, the leaf will grow. A small leaf will become bigger leaf within few days. But you try to grow it on your own, possibility is very less. Similarly, when we try to satisfy ourselves through so many material means, through so many non-devotional ways, we can never be satisfied. Only pure bhakti can satisfy us. Only selfless service to Krishna can satisfy us. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati. Savai pumsam paro dharmo, the supreme dharma, the supreme duty of all living beings is yato bhaktiradhokshaje, bhakti unto Lord Adhokshaja. And that bhakti has to be performed in what way? Ahaituki, without any expectations. Apratihata, without any motive, without any interruptions. Then Yayatma Suprasiddhi, then heart is completely satisfied. You are performing bhakti, means you are trying to please Krishna, samsiddhir haritoshanam, to please yourself. The process of pleasing yourself is pleasing Krishna. If you keep Krishna aside and try to please yourself, it doesn't work. The other day we were saying, right? The process of pleasing tongue is to send the gulab jamun to the belly. Right? If the tongue wants to enjoy the gulab jamun and not swallowing it, only tasting it, put the gulab jamun in the tongue and keep rotating it. Tongue is tasting it, but no nourishment. Right? If the tongue says, I will only chew, I will not supply it to the belly. Why should I give it to belly? I will only keep it with myself. You keep gulab jamun in your mouth for next 10 hours without swallowing it. You will get bored. You will get tired. You will get exhausted. You feel like spitting it. The best way to utilize it and take benefit of it is swallowing it and giving it to the belly. Once it comes to the belly, tongue is happy, hands are happy, legs are happy, entire body is happy. If any limb of the body wants to enjoy it, you keep gulab jamun in hand, or leg, or mouth, or ears, or nose. None of the limbs will feel that nourishment by directly trying to enjoy that gulab jamun. Only it has to go to stomach. No other way. No other way. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj says, if you want to beautify yourself, if you want to decorate yourself, if you go in front of a mirror and start putting an earring, 2 earrings on the mirror, put tilak on the mirror, put whatever makeup on the mirror, all the cosmetics, Fair and Lovely and whatever, Pond's cream, put some powder on it. Will you become beautiful? First you apply on the face. When the person is given those ornaments, reflection is automatically beautiful. So when you put earring to yourself, automatically the reflection in the mirror is decorated with earrings, right? But if you put earring on the mirror, you move like this, it will then it doesn't look good, right? Similarly, we are reflections of Krishna. If he is happy, we are happy. If he is satisfied with our services, we will automatically be satisfied with whatever we do. Our satisfaction lies in giving him satisfaction. Samsiddhir haritoshanam ataha pumbhir dvijasreshtha varnashrama vibhagashah swanushthitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshanam. Swanishtitasya dharmasya, you may be very, very meticulous in doing your varna dharma or ashrama dharma or following your prescribed duties in various ways, but the purpose of all these duties is to give pleasure to Krishna. Samsiddhir haritoshanam. When Hari is pleased, we are pleased. Any amount of material civilization, any amount of endeavors that we take up in our lives cannot give us happiness or pleasure or satisfaction if they are disconnected from Krishna. We come from him. Krishna said in the Gita, Mama evamsho jiva loke jiva bhutas sanatanaha. Mama eva amsho, all the living beings are my amshas. If you are amsha of Krishna, the source has to be pleased, nourished, then amsha is automatically nourished. If you separate the amsha from its source and try to nourish it, there is no nourishment. If you separate, morning we were discussing, if you separate fish from water and try to give all kinds of facilities to the fish will not be happy. Keep the fish back in water. Right? So we need bhakti. In the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the episode of Prithu Maharaj, there is a beautiful shloka. Yat pada pankaj palasa vilasa bhaktya karmashayam grathitam udgrathayanti santah tadvanna riktamatayo yatayopi ruddha shroto ganastamaranam bhaja vasudevam. Yat pada pankaj palasa vilasa bhaktya. When we perform bhakti by rendering service to the lotus petal like feet of Krishna, what does it do? Karmashayam grathitam udgrathayanti. Karma ashayam means our materialistic desires for sense enjoyment. Grathitam udgrathayanti. They are completely uprooted. Santah. Santas means great saintly people, pure devotees. They uproot their material ambitions and material desires by performing bhakti. Tadvanna riktamatayo. But if those who are devoid of bhakti, yatayo piruddha, even if they try so much, shroto ganastamaranam bhajavasudevam, they cannot even control their senses. What to speak of reaching the spiritual world? Therefore, bhaja Vasudevam, worship Lord Vasudeva. Perform bhakti unto Vasudeva. Hundreds and thousands of times the process of bhakti is emphasized. In fact, Narada Muni gave a very heavy feedback to Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva wrote so many scriptures, Upanishads, Vedas, Puranas, Mahabharata, Vedanta Sutra, so many things he wrote. But he was not satisfied. The author of Vedic scriptures and Puranas and Mahabharata was not satisfied by writing them. Do you know this or not? Nothing, no intention to minimize the position of Vedas or Puranas. But the fact is, the author, one who has written all these Vedas and Puranas, is dissatisfied. There is a despondency in his heart, despite writing all of them. He started contemplating, why am I feeling so dissatisfied? He thought, maybe I did not sufficiently emphasize the importance of bhakti. Is that the reason? As he was thinking like this, suddenly his guru Narada Muni came there and asked, Vyasadeva, you look so dull, you look so sad, you don't look very excited. You have written so many books, so many Puranas and so many Vedas. Why are you not so satisfied? Generally, when you accomplish some task that you wanted to do, that will give you happiness. So you wanted to cook, for example, say 10 items. You have cooked successfully, you have cooked 10 items. And after finishing the cooking, you say, I'm not very satisfied. Why? Probably you wanted to make another item, but you could not make. Or you wanted to make an item in a certain way, but somehow it didn't come up well. Maybe this is wrong in it, this is not good in it, something. You are dissatisfied. Similarly, Vyasadeva wrote so many scriptures, he was not satisfied. Then he asked his guru, I have some understanding of my dissatisfaction, but you tell me, you are guru, right? You are like super soul in the hearts of all living beings. You are like sun who can go anywhere, because sun is sitting there, but his sunshine can go anywhere. Similarly, Narada Muni, you are like sun, you are like super soul, you are like air, you can go anywhere. You can enter the minds and hearts of people also. Please, tell me, you enter my mind and tell me, what is the reason for my dissatisfaction? Then Narada Muni said, Jugupsitam karma krutva. Vyasadeva, you have done an abominable activity. What is it, abominable activity? I have written all the scriptures. The abominable activity done by Vyasadeva is not sufficiently emphasizing the importance of bhakti in all the books he has written. He wrote so many books, but the primary subject matter of all these books is 4 Purusharthas: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Dharma, following certain processes, religious processes. Kama, Artha, money. Performing the Dharma for Artha, money. And using that Artha for Kama, sense gratification. Then, when you are tired, or exhausted, or frustrated, or bored, then Moksha. They think of liberation. So this is materially motivated religion called Kaitava Dharma. Therefore, you are not satisfied. You need to focus on the Panchama Purushartha, Prema or Bhakti, not some 4 Purusharthas. Focus on the final one, Bhakti. Pure devotional service unto Krishna, without any expectations or motivations or selfish intentions. You focus on that, you will naturally be happy. Then Vyasadeva wrote Srimad Bhagavatam. In that Srimad Bhagavatam, Vyasadeva repeatedly described the glories of Bhakti Yoga, repeatedly described the Leelas of Krishna, and so many stories of so many devotees who performed Bhakti. Krishna spoke in the Bhagavad Gita Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and concluded that Bhakti Yoga is the best, better than these three. Focus on Bhakti Yoga. Done. Bhagavad Gita is over. But in Bhagavatam, we see a continuation of Bhagavad Gita where Krishna left saying Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, which is basically Bhakti. Keeping aside everything else and taking shelter of Krishna, taking exclusive shelter of Krishna is Bhakti. That is the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. And this is where Bhagavatam begins. How to perform that Bhakti, how to take shelter of Krishna without any motivations, without any interruptions. And then so many stories of devotees like Pandavas, Kunti Maharani, Bhishmadev, Uttara, Parikshit Maharaj, Brahma, Narada, Vyasa, Ambarish Maharaj in the 9th canto, Devahuti Mata, Swayambhuva Manu, Prithu Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, Prachetas, Lord Shiva, Bharat Maharaj, Rishabhadev, Nabhi Maharaj, Chitraketu Maharaj. Then Chitraketu Maharaj becomes Vritrasura, Prahalad Maharaj in the 7th canto, Gajendra in the 8th canto, Bali Maharaj in the 8th canto. In the 9th canto, Ambarish Maharaj. In the 10th canto, all the Gopas and Gopis and Brajavasis, Dwarakavasis, Mathuravasis. In the 11th canto, we have Uddhava. 12th canto, Markandeya Rishi. Every single canto describes several stories of so many devotees who are performing Bhakti. That is the glory of Bhakti Yoga. Vyasadeva repeatedly described the glories of Bhakti Yoga philosophically and also historically. Then he is completely satisfied. Complete satisfaction in writing is derived by Vyasadeva when he wrote Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam focuses on Bhakti, while many other Puranas and Vedas, they focus on 4 Purusharthas and 3 Gunas. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Distraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho Niryogakshema Atmavan. Traigunya, Sattvaguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. So these 3 are the subject matters of Vedas. Keep them aside. Nothing to minimize the position of Vedas. They have their own glory. But a lot of discussion about 3 modes, a lot of discussion about 4 Purusharthas. It was too much. Focus on Bhakti. Bhakti is the easiest path. Understanding 3 modes is difficult. Understanding Jnana, Ashtanga, Karma is difficult. Understanding 4 Purusharthas is difficult. What is Bhakti? Selflessly serving Krishna. Going to the spiritual world. Understanding is easy. Implementing is easy. Result is so glorious. Why can't we take up Bhakti? When we are discussing Bhagavad Gita in our classes, the initial 6 chapters become very intense for the students. One child asked me, Prabhu, if Bhakti is the ultimate message of Bhagavad Gita, why did Krishna describe all this karma, jnana, ashtanga stuff in the first 6 chapters? Why did he keep that till the 7th chapter? What if somebody reads 1 or 2 chapters and then gets scared and then throws Bhagavad Gita and goes away? Very intelligent. Shweta. Then I said, apart from giving bhakti to everyone, Krishna also wants to test how much determination we have. Does he have the determination to wait till 7th chapter to read elaborate description of bhakti? Or he will get scared seeing 2nd, 3rd chapters and then close and go away. So bhakti is very confidential. But still, Krishna, Acharyas, all these people just out of their intense compassion revealed the knowledge of bhakti to all of us. Bhakti is beyond 3 modes. But the problem is the conditioned soul may take up to bhakti under the influence of 3 modes sometimes. Such a person's bhakti can be contaminated by the 3 modes. For example, in the third canto of Bhagavatam, 29th chapter, Kapil Dev says, there are three types of bhakti. Tamasic bhakti, Rajasic bhakti, Sattvic bhakti. What is tamasic bhakti? They are performing bhakti only. Bhakti processes are Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam. They are hearing about the Lord, they are chanting the glories of the Lord. Then Smaranam, they are remembering the Lord. All these things they are doing. But if the motive of such a devotee is to take revenge on someone, there are some violent tendencies, there is no compassion, there is no, sincerity, they become violent. So that kind of bhakti is called tamasic bhakti. Rajasic bhakti, if someone has so many material ambitions, they want name, fame, prestige, wealth, etc., they are performing bhakti only, but their ambition is material. They are ambitious. That is called Rajasic bhakti. And what is Sattvic bhakti? They perform bhakti, they desire their own pleasure and knowledge, they seek information. So, this kind of bhakti doesn't satisfy the soul. Of course, even if somebody begins bhakti with those tendencies, eventually the tendencies will go and bhakti will remain. But what is real bhakti? Madguna shruti matrena vai sarva guhashaye manogatira vichhinna yatha ganga bhaso. Madguna shruti matrena. Just by hearing the qualities of Krishna, your mind runs towards Krishna. That is bhakti. Without any expectations, without any distractions, we are constantly thinking of Krishna and taking pleasure in thinking of Krishna, developing the deep emotional bonding with Krishna, completely believing that He is my protector, He is my lover. I love Him more than anything else and He loves me more than anyone else. Krishna loves us the most and we love Krishna the most. That's an eternal fact. Understanding this is bhakti. Without such sincere performance of bhakti, there is no satisfaction for the soul. Soul cannot be satisfied. So we need to take to the path of bhakti, seeing the examples of so many glorious personalities whose stories are described in Bhagavad. I'll conclude here. Any questions, comments?
So, Prabhuji, one question here. Recently, you talk about the bhakti, right? Bhakti which will not link to any material attachment or is a pure bhakti. Last 1 month or recently, just 2 weeks back, a person was with pure bhakti, very spiritual, suddenly got a heart attack and passed away. We feel that the Lord Krishna helped him to, because he was doing a pure bhakti and really gave him a moksha because he was doing bhakti. But he left behind his wife and 2 sons. But they could not, think in a different way that, the person left us like this, miserable condition, the wife and 2 sons. How you will explain to the family who have been left here and keep thinking that, hey, main person doing bhakti, we are not doing bhakti. He's the one who do the bhakti. But he suddenly, Krishna took him.
Okay. Let me tell you a story. I spoke a lot of philosophy. Now, story time. How many of you are chanting here? Of course, you are chanting. How many of you are chanting above 16 rounds or at least 16 rounds? Okay, half of you. You are raising hand or thinking, should I raise my hand? Okay, good. There is a devotee named, he's a professor, Professor Dosa. In some country, I don't remember. He is from a different background, different religion only. Somehow he got attracted to Krishna consciousness. He started associating with devotees in ISKCON temple. But his faith is totally different. His family is following a different faith. His community is following a different faith. But he is into bhakti. Then there is a lot of opposition from his family. Lot of opposition for his community, from his people who are coming from their religion. But somehow he became so attracted to Krishna and Krishna bhakti that he is ignoring all their comments and continuing his bhakti. And he also has some financial issues at home. One day, he entered a Janmashtami program in the temple. So on his car, he just came to Janmashtami program and he was returning in the middle of the night. Janmashtami happens in the midnight, right? So he was going back. Then on the way, he met with an accident and he died. Then the family, wife, children, they don't have so much of support. Financially also they are not very well to do. And the community, his community also is not very favorable to his family because he is into Krishna consciousness, bhakti. Then devotees in the temple, they felt that he is trying to practice bhakti against all odds, although there is a lot of opposition from his family side, still he is trying to practice bhakti. But why did Krishna take him away like this? How did he meet such untimely death? He was initiated also at that time. It's proper time. Ramaranjan Prabhu. His name was Ramaranjan Prabhu. How could Ramaranjan Prabhu just pass away like this? Then this news was reported to Srila Prabhupada. Then Prabhupada wrote 2 letters. One letter to the temple devotees. Another letter to the family of Ramaranjan Prabhu, his wife and children. In the letter written to temple devotees, he said that, dear devotees, please don't think that Krishna did some injustice to Ramaranjan Prabhu by giving him quote unquote untimely death. Because in this life, Ramaranjan Prabhu is practicing bhakti sincerely, but he has some health issues, he has some financial challenges, he has opposition from his family and from his entire community of his faith. So his practice of bhakti is being disturbed in so many ways in this life. So Krishna mercifully took him away from this body, and in the next life, Ramaranjan Prabhu will continue his bhakti so nicely. When a devotee meets with death, there are only 2 possibilities. The devotee will get another birth where he or she will continue the path of bhakti, or if they are qualified, they will go back to Godhead. If they are qualified, they will go to the spiritual world, Goloka, Vrindavan or Vaikuntha. But if they are not yet qualified, if some portion of bhakti is remaining, then they will continue their bhakti in the next life in a much better situation. So Prabhupada said that Ramaranjan Prabhu's performance of bhakti in these austere conditions and difficult conditions, like Krishna destroyed that difficulties and he will give him another chance to continue his bhakti nicely. Prabhupada had that faith. Then he wrote a letter to, and he spoke many other things and he philosophically explained these things to the devotees. And he wrote another letter to his family, his wife and children, saying that there he was like a loving father to his daughter. He said, please don't worry about your husband's untimely departure, sudden departure. Don't worry about your financial problems or any other issues that you're facing. You please come to our temple. Stay within the temple and your children will be taken care of. Our devotee community will take care of your family. You don't worry about it. Then these people, the family of Ramaranjan Prabhu, who were taunting Ramanujan Prabhu or not happy with him uh, and not favorable to his devotional service, they became so touched. Our community people are not ready to help us because her husband is doing this. But these devotees are very much helpful to us. Our family and community did not support us, but these devotees are supporting. So immediately they came to the temple and they became devotees. So the departure of Ramanujan Prabhu created so much faith in them. Physically, materially, externally also they got some support. Spiritually also they took to the path, and they're supported in various other ways. So when Krishna takes away some soul, some devotee, although they're very sincere, he does it for a reason. We may not understand it, but he understands it. I spoke about the story of Vyasadeva and Narada Muni. Narada Muni narrated his own past life to Vyasadeva. Narada Muni, at one point, he was a Gandharva named Upabarhana in the Gandharva Loka. There, he went to some spiritual gathering and he started singing some materialistic songs. Then all the Prajapatis there, they became very upset with Narada Muni and Upabarhana and cursed him. May you become a Shudra. May you fall to this earthly planet. Then he fell. He became the son of a maid servant. But as the son of maid servant, he got the glorious opportunity to associate with Bhaktivedanta sages. You know this, right? You don't know? You know the story? So Upabarhana fell down from Gandharva Loka to Bhuloka. He took birth as the son of a maid servant. She was very poor and she was working in different homes, somehow earning livelihood and maintaining her 5-year-old son. No mention about the husband, no mention about the family. She somehow managing. Then during the monsoon season, some visiting sages came to that place and they said, we want to stay here for 4 months because during monsoon, when it's heavily raining, they don't travel so much. So they stayed there. They did their bhakti, they were chanting, they were hearing, they were doing all kinds of devotional activities right in front of this boy. And this boy also is assisting them in some way. That boy's mother also is assisting. And Narada Muni is also, this boy, child, 5-year-old child also is assisting them, trying to get flowers for their worship, trying to get fruits for their worship, bring prasadam for them. And after they eat prasadam, if something is left, he will ask them, can I eat this? Oh, why not take it? He took the remnants, Mahaprasadam. And whenever they are sitting together and discussing Krishna stories, he would sit next to them and he will hear all the philosophy and the stories. He could understand. And thus within 4 months, he developed so much of devotional inspiration and faith in the path that he himself became a pure devotee. 5-year-old child. Then before leaving, these Bhaktivedanta sages, they initiated him in Bhakti Yoga and they left. Now this boy, 5-year-old child, is happily practicing bhakti under the shelter of his mother. Suddenly one day, his mother was bitten by a snake. Evening time she went to milk a cow, but she was bitten by a snake and she died. 5-year-old child, no father, no relatives, only protect his mother, and mother left the body. Mother departed from this world suddenly. Oh, this happened after he became a devotee. How to understand this? Prabhupada writes in the purport, 1st canto, 6th chapter. He read 9th and 10th purports, beautiful purports. He writes, this is the way of dragging a sincere soul to the lotus feet of Krishna. What? Killing the mother of a 5-year-old boy? Is that the way? You may question like that. But Prabhupada is from a higher vision. This mother died, but where did she go is the question. This mother did so much service. This 5-year-old child did some service to the sages for 4 months. He became a great devotee. Right? How much more service the mother must have done? You compare the service done by a 5-year-old child and her grown-up mother. His grown-up mother. Who will do more service? Mother. So she did so much service to the Bhaktivedanta sages. Definitely she must have become very spiritually advanced, right? Mhm. She must have gone back to Godhead. If not, she must have taken another birth where she continues the practice of bhakti in a different setup, in a more comfortable scenario, not like working as a maid servant in different homes. So Krishna changed her life so that she can advance spiritually. And what is the impact of her death on this child? Did the child become an orphan and doing nothing? He became collapsed? No. This child became so mature at the age of 5 that he started traveling like a sage. Like the sages who inspired him were travelers, right? Now he also started traveling like a sage. And he was just going to different forests and jungles and cities and towns and villages. He was traveling and meditating on the Lord, following the bhakti path taught to him by the sages, Bhaktivedanta sages. And eventually he came to a place where there's a lake. He drank some water from the lake and he became very he was tired. He took some water, he sat under a tree and started meditating. Said at some time he became very intense in his meditation. He started having the darshan of Lord Vishnu within his heart. And he had goosebumps. Premati bhara nirbhinna pulakango ati nirvritaha. His hairs were standing on end. And he got the darshan of the Lord. But after a while, he lost the darshan. He lost the darshan. Then he again intensely meditated just to have the darshan of the Lord. And the Lord said, "My dear child, you will not have any darshans in this life anymore. I want you to practice bhakti more intensely. Do it." And he did it. Then he gave up that body. He was alone. But he gave up that body and he became Narada Muni, the transcendental spaceman in the next life. So, although materially speaking, this child lost his mother, only protector, but both mother and the child became so spiritually advanced. On a material plane, there could be pain, apparently. But on a spiritual plane, there is unlimited spiritual bliss. So we should never lose faith in the Lord. Whatever he does for a reason. You know Uttara Mata? Uttara? Wife of Abhimanyu, Abhimanyu, you know? Son of Arjuna. Abhimanyu died in a very young age, teenage. Then Uttara did not complain to Krishna. Krishna, why did you not protect my husband? Because after dying, where did he go? He must have gone to the spiritual world. He's a great devotee. Son of a great devotee. Father of a great devotee. Husband of a great devotee. Grandson of a great devotee. Great devotees. So definitely he must have gone back to Godhead. So, but after his death, Uttara was pregnant when he died. So after his death, Ashwathama released the Brahmastra to kill the child within the womb of Uttara. He released the Brahma. He killed the 5 sleeping sons of Mother Draupadi. Later he wanted to kill the last descendant of Pandavas by releasing Yanora and killing the child within the womb of Uttara. He was Parikshit Maharaj. When Ashwathama released this arrow, Uttara perceived that some fiery arrow is coming towards her. In intense state of helplessness, she ran towards Krishna. She said, "Pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate. Na anyam tadabhayam pashyet yatra mrityuh parasparam." Oh Mahayogin, oh Krishna, na anyam tadabhayam pashyet. I can't see anyone else other than you who can protect me. Although Krishna did not protect her husband in the recent battlefield, recent war, Kurukshetra war, she never lost faith in Krishna. She ran towards Krishna for protection. And even if Krishna had not protected her son also, she would not have lost faith in Krishna. Because whatever the Lord does is for our good. Krishna entered her womb. not like a child, as Lord. And he counteracted the heat of Brahmastra and protected the child, Parikshit Maharaj. And Tara Mata became very grateful. But that same child, Parikshit Maharaj, at a like grown-up age, young age, when he was cursed to die within 7 days, the Lord did not protect him materially, apparently. You know this, right? Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days. And when he was cursed to die in 7 days, Parikshit Maharaj took shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. He went to Sukadeva Goswami and heard Srimad Bhagavatam during that 1 week. But after hearing Bhagavatam for 1 week, where did Parikshit Maharaj go? He went to the spiritual world. And through Parikshit Maharaj, the Lord gave us Srimad Bhagavatam. Today we are discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. So even if the Lord doesn't protect a dying devotee, He protects them on a spiritual plane. There was a great couple in Srimad Bhagavatam 4th canto, Prithu Maharaj and Archi. So this glorious devotee couple, they ruled the kingdom responsibly for a long, long time, and they retired from the kingdom, and they gave the kingdom to their descendants, their children, and they went to the forest. There, Prithu Maharaj and Archi, they were doing austerities, they were doing some worship and meditation in their bhakti. Then suddenly, Prithu Maharaj died in the forest, in the Vanaprastha situation. And Archi alone, she was there. Apparently, the situation is very terrible. She's a widow. Nobody is there to protect her husband or protect her. You know what she did? She took a bath in the river. She collected some firewood and made a funeral pyre on her own. No assistance. She was a queen. And he was a king. But he died. And she kept the dead body of her husband on that funeral pyre. Somehow created some fire and lit that the husband's dead body with fire, and she jumped into the fire. Now, this scene may cause so much of pain in the hearts of people who hear this. But after a moment, you know what happened? Vaikuntha airplane came and took this Prithu and Archi, this couple, in a glorious Vaikuntha airplane. They went to Vaikuntha. And as the Vaikuntha airplane is taking this glorious couple to the spiritual world, in the clouds, some devatas, trees, they all gathered there and said, "Oh, this Archi is so great. She served her husband so nicely. And Prithu is so great. He ruled the kingdom so nicely. And now they both are going to Vaikuntha, and we are stuck in this heavens only." Heaven is in the material world only. It's like an AC compartment in a train, that's all. Right? So heaven is in the airplane, heaven is in the material world. So all the heavenly residents were praising Prithu, praising Archi. They are saying that they are going to Vaikuntha, we are stuck in this material world. To hell with these heavenly bodies. To hell with this residence in Swargaloka. Let us go to Bhuloka. Let us become human beings. Let us perform bhakti like them. And let us die and go to the spiritual world. Because in the Swargaloka there is so much of pleasure. Pramushta atisaya indriya utsavat. Because there is so much of opportunity for sense enjoyment in the heavenly planets. People cannot depend on the Lord. People cannot perform bhakti unto the Lord. Too much of opulence, too much of fanfare, too much of prestige, too much of wealth and all these things, they interfere with our bhakti. Not that all poor people are pure devotees or wealthy people are fallen souls, that's not the point. But sometimes when there is so much of opulence, we may not be able to perform bhakti properly. So Swargaloka people feel that there is a lot of distraction here, we are unable to perform bhakti. Let us take birth in the Bhuloka, where there is sufficient amount of misery along with some pleasure. In such a situation, we can perform bhakti better than when there is happiness everywhere. The general tendency of people is to forget God when there is pleasure and to remember God when there is pain. Agreed? So when there is a lot of material prosperity, that makes us forget God. But when there is a lot of pleasure, a lot of pain and difficulty, then we can become more prayerful, more dependent on the Lord. The Lord wants us to become dependent on Him. So the Lord never does injustice to His devotees. Does it make sense? Did it answer your question?
Yes, absolutely.
Yamaraj says that a devotee can never come to hell. Yamaraj declared to Yamadutas, these Yamalok policies, protocols. I got the SOP. Right? All the policies and protocols of Yamalok are there with me. I never went there. Maybe I must have gone in the past lives, I don't know. But at least in this life I have not visited there. But I know Yamaraj's rules because they are mentioned in the 6th canto of Bhagavatam, 3rd chapter. So Yamaraj tells the Yamadutas, Jihva navakti bhagavad gunanabadheyam chetascha nasmarati taccharanarvindam Krishnaya no namati yachira ekadapi tanana yadhvamasato krita vishnu krityan. Who is qualified to go to hell? You want to know it or not? Who is eligible to enter hell? How many of you are eager to know the eligibility? First qualification. Jihva na vakti bhagavad gunanama dheyam. With their jihva, with their tongue, if they have not chanted the holy name of Krishna even once, they are qualified to go back to Godhead. How many of you are chanting at least one round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra here? At least one round, not 16. One round. Okay. None of you are qualified to go to hell. Right? You have no eligibility to go to hell. Gates are closed there. So, Jihvana Bhakti Bhagavad Gunanama Dheyam. If someone has not chanted the name of Krishna even once with their tongue, bring them here. Yamaraj says, Chetaschana smarati tacharana ravindam. If they have not remembered Krishna even once within their mind, you can bring them to hell. How many of you remembered Krishna at least once in your life here? At least once. Ek bar. At least once. Okay. Then you are not qualified to go to hell. Krishna yano namati yachira ekadapi means if someone has not offered obeisances to Krishna's deities or Krishna's form even once, bring them to hell, he says. Did you ever offer pranams to Krishna here? Anyone? At least once here? Okay, good. So nobody from this room will go to hell. And all of you are sitting here hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, but you are not seeing one personality who is also here. You know who is that? Yamaraj. Yamaraj is sitting there. I don't know exactly here or there in that corner or next to our Shyam or I don't know. Or behind or somewhere, we don't know. He's sitting here. He's here. He's not visible to you. Because wherever devotees gather and discuss Srimad Bhagavatam, discuss Harikatha, Yamaraj comes and sits there. He will not take anyone there to hell. He'll remember. He'll take attendance. Whether your host will get your RSVP or not. Yamaraj will definitely take attendance. He attends Zoom classes also, by the way. So you have 200 or 300 people in the login. One more login is Yamaraj. Login. He hears. So he will not take anyone to hell. And by the way, if someone dies while hearing Krishna Katha, Yamaraj will chant for him. Yamaraj will not take them to hell. As soon as someone dies, Yamaraj has to become alert. Hey, he died. Come to hell. He should say like that, but he doesn't say. He is not qualified to hell. If I go near him, or if my messengers, Yamadutas go near him, we know what happens. You know what happens? If Yamadutas approach a devotee, you know what happens? There is one Gada, Lord's Gada, Kaumodaki Gada, that is constantly circling devotees. right? Creating a protective circle around devotees, especially those who chant. That Kaumudiki Gada will hit the Yamadutas if they try to touch. Yamaraj is saying this, I am not saying this. I am repeating his words only. He is here somewhere, he will hear and be happy that oh, this fellow is repeating what I said to Yamadutas. So Yamaraj says, Te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha ye sadhavah samadrisho bhagavat prapannaha tannopasidat harer gadaya bhiguptan naisham vayam nachavayah prabhavam dande. The glory of devotees is te deva siddha parigita pavitra gatha. Their pavitra gathas, their glorious narrations, their glories are sung by even devatas and siddhas also. Once you pick up a bead bag, once you chant Hare Krishna, even devatas also become very pleased. Ye sadhavaha samadrusho bhagavat prapanna. They are great sadhus. Samadrusho, they have equanimity. Bhagavat prapanna, they are completely surrendered to Bhagavan. Tannopasidata. My dear Yamadutas, listen to me. I am Yamaraj speaking to you. I am your boss. Please remember this. Tannopasidata. Never approach a devotee who is chanting the holy names of Krishna. Never approach someone who is practicing bhakti. Tannopasidata. If you happen to go there, Harer Gadaya Bhiguptan, because they are constantly protected by Lord Hari's Gada, Kaumudiki Gada, that Gada will hit you. And don't say, I had a fracture here, I cannot do my duty in Yamalok. Appoint some other subordinate, alternative police. Yamadutas are police, right? We have local police. That's like cosmic police, right? So, he says, Tannopasidata Harer Gadaya Bhiguptan Naisham Vayam Nachavayah Prabhavam Dandi. I cannot arrest them. You cannot arrest them. Even time factor cannot affect them. Even Brahma also cannot do anything to them. He is the boss of all devatas. Right? Even he cannot cause any harm to the devotees. Once Brahma wanted to kidnap Krishna's boys, you know what happened? He could not kidnap anyone. Ravana wanted to kidnap Sita Devi. He could not kidnap. He only took Maya Sita, not the original Sita. No demon or no devata can harm a devotee. Indra tried to kill all the Vrajavasis by creating a devastating rainfall. Krishna effortlessly lifted this Govardhan mountain and protected all the Vrajavasis. Devatas cannot touch devotees. Demons cannot touch devotees. Yamadutas cannot touch devotees. Yamaraj also cannot touch devotees. That is the glory of devotion, bhakti. If you perform bhakti, that's what happens. In fact, there is a beautiful shloka in the Padyavali that says that as soon as someone takes to the path of bhakti and especially begins to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, you know what happens? Chitragupta in the Yamalok, he becomes ecstatic. He starts dancing. Because he need not maintain our record anymore. He can delete the file. He has been keeping a track record of every single sinful activity done by this conditioned soul. But as soon as he picks up a bead bag and chants Hare Krishna, he will close the record and discard that file. Then okay, ek aadmi kam ho gaya. Right? I don't have to maintain the track record of one fellow anymore. Enough. Please reduce the work of Chitragupta. Please don't increase his work. Pick up a bead bag, chant Hare Krishna, perform bhakti, hear Hari Katha, and save Chitragupta. And bring smile on his face. Yamadutas also, don't think that these police, cosmic police, are in a very prestigious post. Many people aspire to become police officers. What is it? ACP, CI, there are multiple designations, right? They want to become police officer and get promotion there. But you see, Yamadutas who are cosmic police, you know how tedious and austere it is to take somebody and fry them in boiling oil for 10,000 years and whip them for 11,000 years and allow vultures and herons to extract the intestines of the sinful soul for 20,000 years like that. In Yamalok, as soon as you enter there, we are given a gift, special gift, welcome gift. That is a body, a special body. That body is called Yatana Deha. You know what is the specialty of this body? That body will never die. Right? That body will never die. It's a deathless body. And what is don't get surprised that Yamalok, in hell we get a deathless body. Yes, you will get a body, not you, but whoever goes there, they'll get a body that has no death, but it has the ability to experience unlimited suffering. So that body is meant to only experience pain, not die. Generally, when somebody is experiencing so much pain, they prefer to die. I can't tolerate this pain, let me die. But they have to tolerate that pain, but they cannot die. That's their problem. So that kind of body is given to us. Given to someone who goes to hell, and they keep on punishing the person. Even if the body is thrown in the boiling hot oil for 5,000 years or 10,000 years, it will only boil and experience the pain, but will not die. Death will not come. Even to die is a great privilege in Yamlok. So once the person experiences all the results of unsinful activities in hell like that, then he will be sent back to Bhuloka. Why? Already ho gaya na, suffering ho gaya na, aur kya karna chahiye? Because so far he only experienced the reactions to his sins. He has not explored his pending desires, unfulfilled desires. Therefore, to explore the unfulfilled desires, they have to get another body and pursue their material life. And such a soul, if he is fortunate enough to come in contact with devotees and pick up a bead bag and pick up Srimad Bhagavatam and start worshipping the Lord, then there is some hope of avoiding hell and, if possible, going to Vaikuntha. Right. Otherwise, till then, our punya will take to Svargalok, our papa will take to Yamalok, and then we keep on doing this Brahmanda Brahman. Right? Keep on going up, coming down, going up, coming down. Somebody does punya, accumulates some pious credits, he goes to Svargaloka. Then Kshene Punya Martyalokam Vishanti. As soon as the pious credits are exhausted, they will come to Bhuloka. Again, they will accumulate some pious activity or sinful activity. They will go to hell, they will suffer for the sinful activities, they will come back to Bhuloka. They will continue. So whether it is Papa or Punya, Papa Karma, Punya Karma, that will only give temporary happiness or temporary distress, but only Bhakti Karma will take us back to Godhead. That's why Krishna said, Mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhaktaha sanga varjitaha nirvairaha yatra bhut sarva bhuteshu yah samameti pandava. Mat karma krin, you perform my activities. Mat paramo, consider me the supreme. Mat bhaktaha, become my devotee. Sanga varjitaha, give up all your attachments to this material stuff. Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu, don't envy anyone, don't hate anyone, don't allow envy, grudge, negativity, negative feelings or hatred to occupy your heart. Never give a place to these feelings in your heart. If envy is coming and says, I want to stay in your heart for some time. Towards whom? Towards that devotee, or towards that living being, or towards that animal. Oh, you want to stay in my heart? Means envy towards another living being wants to take shelter of your heart. Will you host such a guest? Close your door. No problem. Don't say Atidhi Devi Bhava. We have to host guests. Atidhi is Deva. No, if the Atidhi is envy or pride or lust or greed, don't host them. Throw them out. No problem. You will not get any sinful reaction. Because that is a place where Krishna stays. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto mattah smritirjnanam apohanam cha. I stay within the hearts of all living entities as Paramatma. So, our heart is a place for Krishna to stay as Paramatma. Along with Paramatma, along with Krishna, you allow Mr. Lust, Mr. Envy, Mr. Pride, Mr. Greed also to stay there, he will feel uncomfortable. Don't discomfort Krishna. Whether you agree or not, Krishna is there in your heart. Read Bhagavad Gita. He said in the 15th chapter, 15th sloka. If you want, you read 18th chapter also. 18th chapter, I think 61 or somewhere, he again said, Ishvaraha sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. I stay within the hearts of all living entities. Your heart is meant for Krishna to stay. Not lust, not envy, not hatred, not pride, not jealousy, not greed for more material enjoyment, not greed for more power, property, influence. Not worth it. Don't host. Let bhakti be there. Let finer devotional sentiments be there in your heart. Host your, let your heart contain sincere loving feelings towards Radha and Krishna. That will nourish your heart. That will take us to the spiritual world. Any other questions or comments? Yes.
We spoke about Bhakti, Rajasika Tamasic Bhakti. So in our daily life, even like we are angry towards our family or children. So after that we do Bhakti. So is it considered as Tamasic Bhakti or how to? In the day-to-day life, when we are angry with our children or wife or with our colleagues, or we are angry of the colleagues, or they do some things to us.
Angry or envy? Are you angry with them or envious of them?
Angry of this.
That's fine. Circumstance.
Mataji is not here. Mataji is not here.
Circumstantially, you may become a little angry. But if you are not envying them or hating them, that's fine. Sometimes the heat of the circumstance, you may become a little angry. Ideally, you should avoid that also. But if it's like coming and going, it's a circumstantial, then fine. Say you have kept your office file here and your child picked up and then started playing with it and then kept somewhere else. And you are concerned about it. And you may kind of speak little strongly to discipline the child, not to do mischief. That's circumstantial anger. But you only have love for the child, right? You don't hate, you don't envy the child. So circumstantial anger is understood. As much as possible, don't immediately express it, process it within and try to refine your expression. So all that you try to do, but any human being may become little irritated at times, but it's circumstantial. Now it's very hot outside, I'm very tired, I'm unable to give class, I don't know how I survived the last 2 hours, somehow I'm managing to speak. Sometimes it becomes, either it could be because of climate or say somebody did not have proper sleep in the night. You tell something to them and they become little irritable and angry. That is only circumstantial because of physical distress or whatever. That is understood. But if you have envy or hatred or pride, they are more serious anarthas. So we need to work on them.
And probably, if I may just, nobody like to know all this compared to other devotees, but I think what you said makes sense because when we are in a normal social environment and live our life day to day, it is very natural as a human feeling to have those feelings of tiredness, fatigue, which leads to anger, frustration. And I think, as you rightly said, it is okay to have those feelings because I feel they are very much part of a human mindset or a human
Correct.
behavior, call it as.
Basically, intention matters.
Intention matters, yeah.
Consciousness matters. Are you becoming angry out of some circumstantial discomfort, or you have a deep-rooted envy towards someone or grudge towards someone? That matters.
As you also rightly suggested, the key is to keep it to that level, or even if those feelings come, sort of manage them within ourselves and try not to affect other people. That is one. Second, even and especially work on those, I would say, more serious issues, as you said, envy or jealousy or trying to sort of think bad about somebody. And I'm sure all of us go through that phase when, as we age, We practice to say, okay, fine. It's correct, like when we are, at least in my case, when we were young, like we say, oh, this guy is driving better car than me. Now that doesn't matter exactly.
Correct.
In younger days, I think that was also important because sometimes that gives you that.
We need
kick
to have
or the desire.
satisfaction with what we have.
Exactly.
Then envy doesn't come. Any other question?
So just to
La-
add on there, you are doing spiritual practice, so you have been doing that. But when somebody hurt you, how as a devotee or spiritual person you stay calm? Because out of that, any circumstance, like in our official success, you are the one who picked up that, you are the one who got why you got a job loss, like why not others? You are the one picked up somebody who's purposely hurting you, you're very close and hurt you. But you're doing spiritual practice. You have to show the emotion. That's what today they say. You have to show the emotion. You can't keep that emotion inside and suppress it. You have to tell the person that really I am hurt. But in this practice, you say keep it calm.
Yes.
But that doesn't happen. You can constantly feel that kind of. It's not about envy. It's about that anger inside constantly. Why it is happening with me?
Correct. We need to internally reconcile it and externally address it. Two things. When you face some injustice or some discomfort or some inconveniences caused by others without your mistake, you are innocent in that context. But you are subjected to some injustice or some kind of partiality or whatever. You naturally feel little disappointed or discouraged or irritated or your mind screams. Right? At that time, you need to do two things. Number one, internally reconcile it. How? I must have caused some inconvenience to someone in the past. I may not remember it now. Maybe it was 10 years back or 20 years back or in the last life. And that result of that is coming to me now. This is mentioned in Bhagavatam. Tatena kampam sasamikshavaado bhunjana evatmakritam vipakam. Atmakritam vipakam. Whatever inconveniences or difficulties or injustices or insults I am facing today are results of my own past misdeeds. We may forget it, but nature doesn't forget. God doesn't forget. Devatas don't forget. They will safely deliver your quota of suffering to you at some point, wherever you are available and accessible to them. Right? They keep carrying that karma. And sometimes you may get immediate instant reaction. Sometimes it will take some time. But reaction is guaranteed. The pain is not coming from others. The pain is coming through others. It's coming from us only. It's originated by us only. Just like if some postman comes and gives you a card, wedding card of your dear friend, closest friend. You may thank the postman, but will you say, thank you so much for arranging for the marriage of my friend? Will you say that? He did not arrange. He just gave you the letter. See, if the postman comes and gives you another letter that carried the death news of some dearest relative, will you go and kick the postman or slap the postman? Why did you kill my relative? He's only postman, right? So similarly, whenever we are experiencing pleasure or pain, we are experiencing it as a result of our own past deeds, good or bad deeds. That we need to understand. That is internal reconciliation part. But external addressing part is, although you may say that, oh, this person caused me inconvenience and I deserve it, but you may have to take an appropriate action to teach that person a lesson. If you don't do it now, if you neglect it, he will cause inconvenience to 10 other people. And he will create more karma. For this, he will suffer in future more. Out of your compassion towards a person who caused you inconvenience, out of your kindness and compassion towards the person who caused you some discomfort, you take an action against him so that he will not repeat the same thing and trouble himself in future. Your taking of proper action should not be out of grudge or hatred. You should thank him internally, that thank you for delivering my quota of karma. I am supposed to experience this pain, and it came through you now. If it doesn't come through you, it can come through 10 other people later in future. But thank God it's finished now. Thank you for that. Internally, not externally. Internally you thank him, but externally you take an action. And that action should not be out of grudge. If you do it out of grudge, you will create more karma for holding negativity on him. So you take an appropriate action, punish him, scold him, give a feedback, or do whatever is required depending on the extent of the offense. Then that will protect him from future karma. If a thief comes and steals some $10,000 in your pocket here, definitely he did a mistake. And you have asked him where are the CC cameras, find out where he is, and maybe in 24 hours you found the thief and then recovered your money. Now your internal reconciliation is, there are 100 people sitting here, why did he steal from me only? I only have 10,000, he has 20,000, he has 30,000. Why did he not steal from him? Because you deserve that pain, therefore he stole from you only. Right? That is internal reconciliation. Don't hate him. Don't hold any grudge. But take an action. He stole from me, he may steal from 10 other people. So you see the CC camera footage, then you just complain to the police or do whatever, and they will give some punishment. Okay, 1 week imprisonment or 6 months imprisonment, whatever it is. Once he experiences the punishment, then his quota is over. He got his reaction, then hopefully he will not do it again. Right? Makes sense. Logical, sounds logical. That's how karma works. And there is much more nuance to it. It's not as easy as I have explained. There could be much more complicated details of experiencing karma, and one person acting as instrument of another's karma, etc., etc. But the essential principle is, whenever we face some difficulty, don't immediately blame others. Do some self-introspection, take some responsibility for it. I must have caused a difficulty to someone in the past, it's coming to me. Take responsibility. Then don't hold any grudge or envy or hatred towards anyone. Take an action. Slap them, beat them, complain on them. If you are a Kshatriya, authorized, you can even kill them also. Arjuna killed so many people, right? But not with grudge. Yudhishthira Maharaj led this entire Kurukshetra war from Pandava's side, and he killed, he means his team, killed Duryodhan, but not with hatred, because he did a mistake. I have to kill him and get the kingdom back. He just fought for justice, not out of grudge for Duryodhan. Ram never hated Ravan, but Ram killed Ravan. How can you kill someone without hating him? That may be your question. That's what is your maturity. Mature people can kill others without hating them, can slap others without hating them. In fact, can kill others with love. You want a simple example? See a mother or a father. Sometimes parents may chastise, not kill, but they chastise. They may chastise their kids out of love, just to discipline them. They are doing some mistake, they correct them out of love. There is no hatred or negativity there. That's how we need to deal with all people. Heavy dose? It's a heavy dose.
No, but they say that you should avoid these toxic people. But now
Avoid.
Yeah.
If you can avoid, you can avoid. Maintain respectful
see
distance.
those people, I mean, as a devotee, is it encouraged that you see that person every day? Because you don't like to see that person. You don't want to see. But
Maintain respectful distance. Don't hate. If you don't like, stay away. But don't hate. That's the point. Mataji had something.
We are done with the
Hmm?
time. We are done with the time.
No, this is 10 minutes ahead. 10-15 minutes ahead. But Prabhu is.
I think Prabhu needs to again speak for
Okay, no.
his second. Maybe we can just stop. Yeah.
Prabhu, I just wanted to ask that when we read Bhagavatam, we see all the examples where they took any timely exit for their spiritual realization.
Correct.
And the second
We also have to follow that as much as possible. Not necessarily going to the forest, but little.
Just wanted to understand that as in our young age, we just tend tend to, ये भी कम पड़ रहा है, this is also less, this is also less, this is also that hunger, that this much is sufficient, is never that feeling comes, and then never you feel that I feel like that Dhritarashtra feeling. You just can never stop thinking that the respect already I have received, enough I have become king, enough everything has. But you don't just want to leave.
We discussed, right, in one of our previous sessions, detachment is a very rare quality to attain. However much you enjoy, you don't feel like detaching yourself.
So as a Grihastha, how do we understand? And seeing the current pattern where you get children very late. You are old first, then you have children. So it's very difficult when your children are also growing and you are also growing at the same speed. So how do we understand that whatever you have is sufficient and enough is enough? So how to get that?
The first step in getting that is asking this question. Right? Because the thought came in your mind, you are in that direction. Next step Krishna will reveal. Right? Unfortunately, even that thought doesn't appear in the minds of so many people in this world. So, the beginning is that thought. I think I'm done, I think. Enough. Both over here. I should put a full stop now. Let me take shelter of Krishna. I have accumulated enough money, name, fame, prestige, commodities. Enough. There is no end to this. Let me stop here. Let me not be greedy. Let me be satisfied. So my responsibilities are fulfilled. Enough. You know that Kailash story? You know, right? I'll not repeat now.
And Prabhuji don't tend to have this very easily. Matajis, so the dependent Matajis may sometimes out of frustration say, Prabhus, because they are so used to working for years, it's like more than 40 years you're only working.
Prabhus can answer, I will not. I'm not working. I'm not working.
No, Prabhu, how do we get that? Like you said that detachment is a very rare quality. But how do we?
One thing I can say, I already said one thing. Beginning is asking this question and getting that thought. Another thing is regularly hear Krishna Katha. The goal is not getting detachment. The goal is getting devotion. If you get devotion, detachment will automatically manifest. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yogaha Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Gnanam Chayada Haitukam. The more you perform bhakti practices, vairagya will automatically manifest. So first develop attraction towards Krishna, detachment will follow. If you aim for detachment, you will never get detachment. If you aim for devotion, detachment becomes a byproduct. Buy one, get one free, like that. Get two free. What is two? Jnana and vairagya. Knowledge and detachment both will come by bhakti. But if you pursue knowledge, there is no end to it. If you pursue detachment also, there is no end to it. Sometimes in the name of detachment, people have false detachment. Smashana vairagya. You know that. Markat vairagya. So, Falgu vairagya. We don't want that. We want Yukta vairagya. Further bhakti is required. Thank you very much. We had something to say, but... Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Darshan Prabhu ki Jai.